This is KGW News at noon.
You're looking at the damage to a Portland fire and rescue boat after it was stolen and taken for a joyride. The propeller is bent and it had to be replaced before coming back to Portland. The boat's depth finder is also damaged. Thanks for joining us this noon. I'm Brenda Braxton. The Coast Guard has the suspect in custody. He'll be brought to the Multnomah County Jail to face charges. The boat was stolen this morning from the Portland Fire and Rescue boathouse along the Willamette River. Firefighters say 44-year-old Dustin Knutson was able to swim in and steal it. They say he traveled all the way up to Kalama on the Columbia River before beaching the boat.
It's pretty bad. As you can see, it's pretty dinged up. This is not, usable anymore. So both of them look like this. I think this was probably the worst of the two. You can just see this is from hitting rocks and stuff like that.
The man tried to run away but was taken into the custody of officials around 8 o'clock this morning. Knutson will now face multiple felony charges. Mayor Ted Wheeler met with the media this morning, just a day after announcing he will not run for re-election. During his time in office, Wheeler has faced intense criticism over a growing homeless crisis, a struggling downtown economy, and various issues with livability and crime. Portland doesn't have any term limits on the mayor's office. The last mayor to serve 3 terms was Vera Katz. Wheeler still has 15 months left in office, and he says it's a critical time for the city.
I'm going to continue to drive towards a bold new vision for economic prosperity, focusing on revitalizing our central city and advancing our sports and entertainment districts. Around livability, I agree wholeheartedly with an overwhelming number of Portlanders who say that Portlanders deserve a litter and graffiti-free city, a welcoming place for family as well as friends to be proud of.
This decision comes ahead of a massive overhaul of city government next year. It gives the mayor more of an executive role and strips the office of much of its legislative power. Well, the weather is heating up today, and Rod is watching the temperature rise. Are we still on track for 90?
I'm not sure. Is that a fair answer?
It's fair.
I'm going to show you the temperatures in a moment, okay? We are running a little bit cooler at noon than I thought we would be. Look how beautifully deep blue the sky is, though. Everybody's seeing the sunshine. This is Schnuckwin's Casino Resort in Lincoln City. I've got the Astoria column camera zoomed in. If you look carefully, they've had a lot of people up top getting that beautiful view. If you've never been to the column, the artwork is fabulous and the view just as well on a pretty clear sky day up in Astoria. Look how busy. They've got a tournament, looks like, at Three Rivers Golf Course up in Kelso. Lots of folks enjoying a beautiful day. Up in Cowlitz County, we are not expecting 90-degree temperatures. I still think Portland has a chance to get up to 90, but I'm lowering my confidence level, if you will. It's okay if we don't make it, right? We're at 73 at noon. We are going to see a pretty significant warm-up in the next couple of hours. Here are the other temps. Salem 72, 76 in the Dalles. It is 80 right now out in Pendleton, and it's 73 degrees in Astoria. We will leave 90 as a possibility. I mean, we're at least going to get 86, 87, and maybe 90 degrees. The forecast 7-day has a 90-degree temperature on, in fact 2. And it also has some rain chances, though. That's coming up.
A little bit of everything then. Rob, thanks. There is breaking news today involving President Biden's son, Hunter. He was indicted today on federal firearms charges. The special counsel overseeing the investigation says Hunter lied about his drug use when he bought a gun in 2018 while struggling with addiction to crack cocaine. He could still face separate tax charges. This indictment comes a day after the Republican-led House announced an impeachment inquiry into President Biden, in large part over Hunter's business dealings. Multnomah County commissioners took public testimony this morning to figure out how to spend a windfall worth millions to address the homeless crisis. They have an extra $50 million from local taxes and another $12 million from the federal government. Commissioner Sharon Myron wants to spend it on 3 things: shelter beds, a sobering center in downtown Portland, and places for people to go after leaving detox or treatment. Commissioner Julia Brim Edwards has a similar proposal.
We should be investing in those big picture things we know we need. And that's what I'll be advocating for.
Make a big investment in shelters now. I believe we decrease the need for and the amount of unsanctioned camping that's having a huge impact on our neighborhoods.
The public testimony is over and the commissioners will vote next week. Now to Yamhill County, where some residents in the town of Lafayette are planning to air their grievances at a city hall meeting tonight. Their water bills have skyrocketed by hundreds of dollars. City officials tell us they owe money to a utility company based in McMinnville. They say they warned people a few months ago there could be a small increase, but they were not expecting this. The city administrator says all late fees will be waived this month and no one's water will be shut off if they can't pay. Tonight's meeting starts at 6:30. More than 4,000 Kaiser Permanente workers in Oregon and Southwest Washington have approved a strike. Their union announced the results of the vote earlier this morning. They cite unfair labor practices, unsafe working conditions, and understaffing as reasons for the possible strike.
For me, I don't want to strike. That's the last that any of us want to do because we care about our patients. This is what we got into this for, is for our patients. But they deserve more. We deserve more. So if it takes us being on that strike line, I will be there, ready to fight for the contract that we deserve.
Kaiser said in a statement it will continue negotiating and is working to quickly hire more people. Well, the deadline is fast approaching for a strike at Detroit's big three automakers. There are 8 hours and 52 minutes left to reach a deal before tens of thousands of United Auto workers walk off the job. Dealerships and even repair shops across the country are expected to feel the impact. NBC's Jay Gray is outside UAW headquarters in Detroit with the details.
Well, all quiet right now outside of UAW headquarters, a place they call Solidarity House here in Detroit. The clock continuing to tick toward a midnight deadline with apparently no real progress in contract negotiations between the United Autos Workers Union and the big three automakers.
We're still very far apart on our key priorities. From job security to ending tiers, from cost of living allowance to wage increases, we do not yet have offers on the table that reflect the sacrifice and contributions our members have made to these companies. To win, we're likely going to have to take action.
The union seeking a 46% pay raise over the next 4 years, a 32-hour work week with 40 hours of pay, and improvement to employee pension programs. Ford, GM, and Stellantis have made counteroffers, Ford offering as much as a 20% salary jump, but the manufacturers say there's been no response from the UAW. If there is no agreement, this would be the first time UAW members walk out on all three automakers at the same time. And analysts say a 10-day work stoppage at all three automakers could have a $10 billion impact on the economy. That's the latest from here in Detroit. I'm Jay Gray. Back to you now.
Back here locally, somebody has turned in one of the brass nameplates stolen from the Portland Firefighters Memorial. It went missing last week after vandals hit the David Campbell Memorial on West Burnside. 11 other nameplates honoring fallen firefighters are still missing. The fire department is asking you to keep an eye out in case those plaques also turn up along West Burnside. A freight train is to blame for sparking a destructive wildfire in the gorge. The Washington Department of Natural Resources released its investigation on the Tunnel 5 fire yesterday. It started in July and burned more than 500 acres and destroyed 10 structures, including homes. Investigators say an older model BNSF engine was going through the area despite a warning not to because of the fire risk. We asked the railroad for comment. It says it's reviewing this report.